Hello guys, Craig Stern here from Sinister Design. Just going to give you a quick update on some things I've added to the Telepath Tactics map editor. Specifically to the Dialog Editor. Let's go ahead and get into Edit Dialog mode. And let's start creating a conversation. We're just going to right-click, create a new branch, and let's say we have a conversation that starts on turn 0, can only run once. Let's make our speaker Bob. And let's have him say, OMG, Allison, you are so mean. And let's go ahead and have that go to the next branch. Boom! That's our first branch. Now we're going to create a second branch. Let's have Allison be the speaker on this one. And let's have her say, also, I'm gonna need you to return that. And that will be her branch. Now, if you're reading these branches one after another, you're probably thinking, wow, this conversation makes no sense. Bob is saying, oh my god, Allison, you're so mean. Allison says, also, I'm gonna need you to return that. Also, in addition to what? Clearly she's missing some dialogue. We're gonna need to add another branch. So let's go ahead and add another branch. Let's make the speaker once again Allison, and we'll have her say, you know, Bob, if I'm so mean, why did I lend you my copy of that totally sweet game, Telepath RPG, Servants of God? Oh my god, she has a point. Why did she do that if she's so mean? Clearly she's not mean, and since this is going to lead into the thing where she says, also I'm going to need you to return that, we're going to do next branch for our reply. But there's a problem. You'll probably notice the problem immediately. It's that these are out of order. The last thing she says comes before the second thing that should be in this conversation. This should be the first thing, this should be the second thing that she says. Luckily, I added in this handy-dandy little feature, these little arrow buttons that let you swap the position of branches in the dialogue tree. So we're just going to swap these two, and voila! Now our conversation, all of a sudden, makes perfect sense. Bob says, OMG, Allison, you're so mean. Allison says, you know, Bob, if I'm so mean, why did I lend you my copy of that totally sweet game, Telepath RPG Servants of God? Also, I'm going to need you to return that. Boom! As if by magic. This is basically a feature that allows you to add new things to the dialogue tree, and then you can just reposition them however you like. I heard what you said about me the other day. I'll make that next branch. Close that. And now we get to move this one up. So now it's, oh my god, Allison, you're so mean. I heard what you said about me the other day. Allison says, you know, Bob, I'm so mean. And so on and so forth. You can just keep adding things to the dialogue tree in that fashion. It's super, super easy. Because we have these little swap buttons now. Cool, cool stuff. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you guys. Now I'm going to show you something arguably even cooler. So let's go ahead and edit one of these dialogue branches here. Let's start with branch 0, and let's add an action. As you can see, ordinarily you just type your action name, and then you type your parameters for that action in the box right next to it. But I've added a cool little feature. Let's go ahead and say we want to have an add portrait action. Add portrait. This is something you will oftentimes be using in dialogue, because you want character portraits to show up, but what happened here? Holy crap, it just straight up filled in a little summary of the various parameters that we need to use with this action. So let's say Bob has a portrait named Bob, then the file name for the portrait, let's say that Bob is, oh, I don't know, let's say he is a swordsman. So in that case, I believe that would be swordsman_M. That would be the name of his portrait. Let's say that he's going to be facing right, so we'll just use right for the third parameter, and then for the last parameter, let's just say that his army color is blue. So Bob is a blue swordsman facing right. And voila, just like that, we've made it super easy for ourselves to add new actions. Every single action in the game now has those little parameter hints. So let's say we want to rotate his character sprite. Boom! Just like that. Now we know we need to put in his character name and the direction we want him to face, capitalized. But this is even cooler. Let's say we want to use an action that isn't rotate. Let's say we want rotate character to face. As we keep typing, the map editor says, oh, clearly you want rotate character to face, not rotate char. Let me update that for you. So now we put the character name and the name of the character he's going to face. So we can go ahead and type Bob for our first parameter and Allison for our second parameter. Just as easy as that. Is that not cool? I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, so that's pretty much it, folks. You can sort of play around with adding new actions, and you don't have to look up the action in the manual anymore in order to find the parameters. It just straight up shows up in the map editor. Makes things a whole heck of a lot easier. So there you have it with that. That's pretty much all I have as far as updates on the Dialog Editor. Those two, I'm very excited about those two features, though. They make the map editor a lot, and the Dialog Editor specifically, a lot easier to use. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. If you're a regular Telepath Tactics backer, and in particular someone who is interested in using the map editor, you can tune out now. You now have all of the cool, up-to-date info on the map editor and the Dialog Editor. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. However, if you're still here, and you're a developer, and you're interested in using this map editor, or the Dialog Editor for your own game, here's a cool little thing that I'm going to show you. Not really relevant for people that are just going to be modding Telepath Tactics, but for people that want to use this map editor and this Dialog Editor for their own purposes, I'm going to show you a cool little secret. In the directory where you install the Telepath Tactics map editor, there is a file called scriptactions.xml. This file contains every single script action that is supported by Telepath Tactics. But let's say you want to use this, as I said, for your own game. You can actually add your own code hints with your own little triggers, as it were, your own little hooks for the code of your game, and if you like, even replace the ones that are there. So let's say that in your game you have a little code hook. Oh, I don't know. Change gravity. Right, let's say it's a platformer or something. I don't know what your game would be, but let's just say that that's a code hook you want to use. That's the name of the action you want. You can then go ahead and add your own parameters. Oh, I don't know. Let's say force, and maybe that's a decimal number. Floatiness. I don't know why that would be a separate value, but whatever, we're just having some fun here. So then you would just save script actions, assuming it lets you. Apparently it's not going to let me. Well, anyway, you would save script actions, and then this would work just like you saw before. You would type in change gravity in the Dialog Editor, and then it would prompt you with those parameters. Cool stuff. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that. I'm pretty proud of it. And yeah, I'm going to get back to working on the game proper. See you guys next time.